Good morning and happy Wednesday, everyone. Even though I'm doing this on Tuesday during a break, I was going to show you. Nigel is going to pipe in. This is the Nigel that I hear at about 11:30 at night, wanting to go outside these days. He's restless. He's getting old. He's deaf and blind, and all of a sudden he's got into this habit at about 11 or 11:30 at night, while I'm sound asleep. The only time I'm sound asleep of wanting to go outside. So anyway, that's what I hear. So I'm in the new sunroom. I haven't got the pictures hung of the cat yet. Dyson's portrait that Gina Krim made for me. It's one over there, and the other one is over there. Um, One of them's gonna go in my office, and one of them's gonna go out here. I think this one's gonna go out here because it's more abstract. It looks pretty cool in the sunroom. And I will show you my new sunroom since it is almost complete. I still have a serving counter that's going to be built in, and a laundry room. All the laundry room cabinets will be built in to kind of look like a butler's pantry and hide the washer and dryer. So until we get the cabinets built, I'm not putting the TV up yet because I don't want to be living in this space with somebody coming in and out to work. So I can close off this part of the house, let them get that job finished as soon as I get to hire them. And then we'll go from there. Right now I'm a little gun shy on hiring someone. Just don't want anybody in the house for a while, so the cabinets are waiting just a little bit. But this is the sunroom. I'll show you around best I can. It is not raining outside, however, you can see water coming down the window because the sprinklers are on and they hit the window. So I'll have to figure that out. If it leaves streaks, I don't know. This is the sunroom. I'm sure it's very difficult to do this without turning the camera around. So I'll just do it like this. This is the sunroom, and you will see over here, you can see the backyard. There's the pool. There's Billy sitting out. He's been out landscaping. And this is the room from this angle, and you can see the wall. There you go. See the wall that the TV's gonna go on and come out and go in front of my sofa. So anyway, that's the sunroom. I was gonna talk just a little bit this morning. I'm not gonna talk about politics at all. I'm not gonna talk about the virus. Not gonna talk about the racial divide. Anybody that knows me knows the way I feel. If you follow me on Facebook. So no need for me to go into any of that this morning. I was going to talk a little bit about my sleep because I get a lot of people coming about my sleep. And there's some things that people, some people know that I worked with at the time and my immediate family knows. But I guess it's been about 15, 16 years ago. I had, I was diagnosed with what's called Michelson-Rosenthal syndrome. And this is a very rare disorder. This went on for about a year and a half, 2 years before they diagnosed it. What happened is I went in and half my face was paralyzed, and they kept diagnosing Bell's palsy, which was this side of the face, excuse the under eye bags. This side of the face was just completely dropped, or what they thought was this side of the face was completely dropped down. Looked just like Bell's palsy. So I kept going in. They kept prescribing steroids. It would last for about, the first time it came on, it lasted for about a month where my whole face was swollen or paralyzed and my eye was shut on this side. And so I kept going back to these doctors and different specialists because it kept coming back. First episode lasted about a month. The next time it lasted a few months. The next time it lasted for about 4 months. It was extremely painful, too, which is not common in Bell's palsy for it to be that painful. I was having severe headaches on this side. So, anyway, I finally found a specialist in Dallas at UT Southwestern, and we sat down together and tried to figure it out because he said he did not think it was Bell's palsy because on closer examination, this side was not drooping. It was this side that was swelling. So my eye was shut on this side, and this whole side of my face was paralyzed and swelled up. So we sat down together and did research. Actually sat in a library of his and went through all the books trying to figure it out, and finally came across something that he had never worked with but had heard of, called Melkeson-Rosenthal syndrome. And I mean, we're talking about rare. Of course, I would have the rarest of things that could not be fixed easily. The only thing that would fix it would be surgery, and this was a surgeon that was used to doing this type of surgery, but not for this reason. So I was kind of a test case and see if this would work. But what happens with Melkeson-Rosenthal syndrome is you have five facial nerves that come down and control your facial muscles. And those nerves are each surrounded, all five of them are surrounded by bone. So it's like a tube around each of the nerves. And what was happening with Melkeson-Rosenthal is the nerve would swell and hit the bone. It was swelling up and hitting the bone. It was making this whole side of the face swell up, my eye swollen shut, a lot of pain where the nerve was actually touching bone. And it was debilitating. I mean, there were days where I was working half days at times at work. It was when I was working as deputy executive director of a local mental health authority, long time ago. So anyway, he said that we could do a surgery where it takes the tube and that's around each one of these facial nerves and makes it into kind of what looks like a water slide. So he would take off that part of the bone, and these are small bones, and that way when the nerve swells, it wouldn't hit bone, and I wouldn't have this facial swelling anymore. And if I didn't have the surgery, it was going to become permanent. So I'd be permanently disfigured on the side of my face. So I said, let's go for it. It was a risky surgery. I think it was 7 hours surgery, something like that. My mother or Billy or somebody could tell you. My sons could tell you. I had relatives come in and were there at the hospital. I remember laying in the room before they took me into surgery and my family being in there. My mother was the only one in there at that time, I think. When I heard one of the nurses saying, we're ready for the craniotomy in room 3, and I was already a little out of it, and I said, oh my gosh, I'm glad that's not me. Well, it was me. So they peeled back and cut my whole head open, and I still have scars on my head that are covered up by the hair that I have on the sides of my head because I'm losing it on the top, but still have plenty on the sides. But anyway, so they did the surgery. At the second I woke up in the recovery room, the thing I asked for is I said, I want Ben, my youngest son, to be there when I wake up. Because if Ben is there, I would tell myself that I didn't die, that this was real. So the first person I saw when I woke up was Ben, and I knew I'd made it. I was in ICU for a few days, went up to a regular room, stayed in the hospital for weeks. Had to basically start learning to walk again and get my movement back and get my brain functioning correctly. I was extremely nauseous for months. It was a long recovery time. I think it was 5 or 6 weeks that I was at home. And thank goodness for my job at that time. They were very forgiving and, helpful to me. And everything was gone. So now I have no symptoms of that. That was all gone immediately. I am perfectly healthy, perfectly fine. I still have Melkeson-Rosenthal syndrome, though. It's just that when the nerves do swell, it doesn't paralyze my face anymore. Every once in a while, I will have some tissue swelling, and I can tell when it's acting up. In fact, I got scared one time. The doctor moved to Cincinnati from Dallas. So I went all the way to Cincinnati because my cheek was swollen. And I thought, oh my gosh, it's coming back. And he said, no, you're still going to have a little bit of tissue swelling from time to time. It'll be rare. It's just when it flares up. So I still have that. Interesting, and this is where it gets back to what I'm going to talk about with my sleep. First of all, I've always been an early riser. I've always woken up early in the morning. Usually, and early at that time was like 6 o'clock for the time I was a child. 5:30 or 6, I was up and ready to go. I would on Saturday mornings wake up and rearrange my whole bedroom before my parents even woke up, and they would come in to see a whole new room. Even once did in the living room and got in a little trouble over that. But anyway, so I've always been an early morning person. But Melkeson-Rosenthal, one of the side effects or symptoms of it is sleep disorders. It has all kinds of strange symptoms, like some people have tongue fissures. I don't have that. But sleep disorder is part of it. along with a few other things, but that I didn't have. So I now can only sleep for a certain amount of time. I'm on a heavy dose of sleep medication to get to sleep at night. That's the only way I can go to sleep. I can't take naps. I can't. I just lay there, and I can't sleep past a certain number of hours or a certain time of the morning. So I wake up at 2:30 or 3 in the morning, and there's nothing else I can do because the sleep medication is a heavy duty one that you don't want to take twice. And if I take some others like Ambien and some of the lighter sleep medications, they don't do anything. They don't phase me. So the sleep medication knocks me out, but it doesn't keep me asleep. But this is all part of that illness, and I know everybody wonders why this person wakes up at 2:30 or 3, and that's why I look like I do it today because I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. So I have to figure out my schedule around that. That's when I go out of town and I see my friends and we go to happy hour. I like to hit it at like 5 or 5:30, and be back in my hotel room by 8 or 9. Doesn't always work out because I have friends that like to stay out a little bit later, and sometimes I get caught up visiting and having fun, and not doing that. Of course, 2020, that's not available anyway, so it doesn't really matter right now. So right now I'm getting to bed early as I can, sleeping till 2:30 or 3. When I can doze back off in the mornings, I try to do that. That's rare that I can actually do that. I usually just close my eyes and lay in bed for an hour and then get back up. But anyway, so that's my story of what happened. It was a very scary time in my life, but I made it through it. Dr. Ravi Sami was the doctor, and he's my hero because I didn't just walk in and he said, "This is what it is." He actually spent some time with me and we went through it all and figured out what it was, together. So I really appreciated him understanding that I had some knowledge since I'd been studying this for 2 years while it went on of what it was. So a lot of my friends back at Access, the local mental health authority I worked for at the time, remember this. Of course, my immediate family remembers this. All my sons remember this. And my parents and Billy and everybody else was there. So anyway, that's the story of my sleep with a little bit of more of the story of what happened to me. I'm doing great now. In fact, I am extremely healthy. I'm going to turn, God, I hate to say it. I'm going to turn 57 this coming Sunday. And I am in absolute perfect health, so which is wonderful. Went to the doctor a couple of weeks ago. He said heart, lungs, everything, he said, is like a 30-year-old. And he actually told me that my weight was okay, which surprised me after COVID because I really have gained weight and nobody believes me. But I think I'm what they call skinny fat because I can have very skinny legs and my chest is decent, and then I have this little belly, and it's small. I mean, it's not huge, but it's not six pack like I had. So anyway, that's why. I guess that's it. I've done this video a long time this morning. Oh, and for Lance, look, the stickers are off the windows. It took me forever to figure out how to get the screens off the windows, and I finally figured out they come off from the inside, not the outside. So anyway, I am enjoying the new sunroom. I'm going to enjoy it a lot more when I get the TV out here, and it's going to kind of become where I spend all my time. But that's it for now. I love you all. I hope you're having a great day. If you see this, I hope that you will do a video too. If you don't feel like doing a video, post a selfie, or just post and say you're doing great. Let's keep up with each other during this time, and we will get through this, and we're going to erase 2020 from our memories. It'll just go down in the history books, but it won't be in my memory, because as soon as it's over, I'm going to get to work again like I'm used to working face to face and see my friends again. So love you all. Hope you have a fantastic Wednesday, and I will do another video next week probably. All right. Bye-bye.